Hey, 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 happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com. Tonight is Monday, December 13th, 2021. This is live stream 728. This is your first time joining me, let me point out, super casual around here. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news and taking a first look at a tabletop game. Tonight, I am going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the G.I. Joe deck building game from Renegade Game Studios. Yo, Joe! Or is it Yo Joe's? Okay. Full disclosure, I've seen all of about 20 seconds of the G.I. Joe cartoons. That's it. I was too old when it came out. I was, I think when the G.I. Joe cartoons came out, I was probably in my late teens. I don't think I was in college yet. But, I'm pretty sure I was in my late teens at that point. But we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe deck building game from Renegade Game Studios. Of course, should point out, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. I'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as today's review of Rackham Vale from Crowbar Creative. Yes, you'll finally get to check out the review for Rackham Vale. In fact, it'll be live once the show is over. So yes, it's done. It's all uploaded. It's in the can, ready to go. I just have to put some finishing touches on the actual post for it, and it will be good to go. Of course, also want to mention, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And do want to point out this is live. So if you are watching live, chat is available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. So far, first out the gate tonight was the Motor City Madman. Yes, the Madman is here with us in chat. Madman also happens to be one of our chat moderators. Clint Gibson is here, as well as Kevin R. Smith, and Disavowed 92 has just chimed in. So welcome aboard. We got chat off and running. Got a lot cooking tonight. We're going to jump right on into the news because next year, I believe it's next March. I'm not positive, but I believe it's next March. Mystic Vale is going to return for AEG. It is an essential edition. Here's the dope. Mystic Vale, it's a card crafting game of nature's power. In Mystic Vale, take on the role of druidic, I believe that's how it's pronounced, druidic clans trying to cleanse the curse upon the land. Each turn, you play cards into your field to gain powerful advancements and useful Vale cards. Use your power wisely, or decay will end your turn prematurely. Score the most victory points to win the game. First released in 2016, John D. Clare's Mystic Vale introduced the world to the card crafting system. Using clear plastic cards stacked inside a single card sleeve, this new game mechanic took the traditional game card and turned it into a dynamic, player-controlled game piece. And why are we only seeing one image here? There should be multiple images popping up. Let's make sure that we add them in. Although I have to admit, actual images of Mystic Vale from AEG are kind of hard to find. They have loads and loads of images that people took of their cards, but not actually from AEG. So I'm actually utilizing some images from the mobile app to give you a better feel. Using clear plastic cards stacked inside a single card sleeve, this game mechanic took the traditional game card and turned it into a dynamic player-controlled game piece. The Essential Edition, with card crafting at its center and stunning artwork featured on every card, Mystic Vale became an award-winning modern classic that has been enjoyed by gamers for years. This Essential Edition includes the base game of Mystic Vale, along with the first 3 expansions, Veil of Magic, Veil of the Wild, and Mana Storm at a very special price. Mystic Vale Essential Edition is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 45 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $89.99 when it arrives, I believe, on March 8th of next year. That is what I've heard from one distributor, but keeping in mind, we still have all these shipping issues and distributors aren't always exact on release dates, but that is when I believe it is going to arrive. Do want to mention, I did launch the big holiday 50/50 auction to benefit Extra Life on Sunday. It has launched. There are 2 Mystic Vale expansions that are available in the auction. Strangely enough, AEG originally sent me Mystic Vale, and it didn't have the cards. Yep. So I actually have a copy of Mystic Vale that does not have the cards in it. That's why I've never reviewed it, because at that point they were switching PR people and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, all right, whatever. Moving right along. Summer of 2022 is going to mark the first game in 5 years from Splotter Spellen. Here's the latest on Horseless Carriage. This year, we want the best or nothing at all. We don't want tradition. We want to live in the present, and the only history that is worth a tinker's damn is the history we make today. The famous founder is standing in front of his team giving a motivational speech. You all know our first customer was a lunatic, and the second had a death wish. So they bought our breakless bangers. So there were a few accidents. But the only mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. This year, customers demand safety. Of course, active safety features include rapid acceleration for safe overtaking. I know it'll be hard to add the new motor block section to the factory, but before you say you cannot do something, try it. To every engineer, every planner, every mechanic, and every salesperson in this great company, I say, if I can dream it, you can do it. Horseless Carriage is a game about the dawn of the automobile, a time when cars were invented and no one quite knew yet what this new contraption would look like and what features would be essential. Early cars sometimes used levers or pedals to steer and a wheel to accelerate. Brakes were not always seen as essential, but sometimes an outside spot to take along an onboard mechanic was essential. This early super innovative period occurs in the development of many new product categories. Players are cast as aspiring industrialists trying to find out what features the public will value when buying these new, expensive, and utterly unfamiliar horseless carriages. Horseless Carriages is for 3 to 5 players, ages 14 and up. Plays in, wait for it, 3 to 6 hours. Yes, Splotter Spellen does tend to make games that run a long gameplay time. Game will carry an MSRP of approximately $94.95. It is slated for a summer 2022 release. I wish there were more images to share. I really do. This does sound very interesting. It is from a company that is well known for very, very meaty Euro games. So this obviously enough is not going to be super lightweight with a playing time of 3 to 5 hours or 3 to 6 hours. But there aren't any images outside of the box cover just yet. So, but I did want to bring you this. All right, welcome to chat, Sportsman Z, as well as Viper Dave, and Omanal has joined us as well. So chat is off and running. Let's talk about some role-playing game news, because Paizo Inc. has launched a special Pathfinder Humble Bundle to support the Trevor Project and tabletop gamers. Here's the scoop. Forge a path in a limitless fantasy adventure with this epic collection of Pathfinder 2nd Edition essentials. This bundle is filled with the books new explorers need to create heroes and to set out on their journey in the legendary Pathfinder tabletop RPG universe, including the core rulebook, monster-filled bestiary, and ready-to-play adventures, along with the physical beginner's box at the $50 or more pledge tier. Plus, you choose how much of your purchase supports the Trevor Project and tabletop gamers. We've launched the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Beginner's Bundle. The bundle's tiers include PDFs of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Beginner Box, 2nd Edition Core Rulebook, 2nd Edition Bestiary, Lost Omens World Guide, the Pathfinder Adventure Troubles in Otari, and at the highest tier, physical copies of the 2nd Edition Beginner Box. The $5 tier includes PDFs of the Beginner Box, the Abomination Vaults Player's Guide, Pathfinder Character Sheet Pack, and more. For $15, you also get PDFs of Troubles in Atari, the associated Pathfinder Flip Mat, Troubles in Atari, Pathfinder Adventure Path 163, Ruins of Gauntlet, and more. At the $30 tier, you also get PDFs of Pathfinder Adventure Path 164, Hands of the Devil, as well as Eyes of Empty Death, Adventure Path 165. All three of these adventure paths that I'm talking about do combine to make up the Abomination Vaults adventure. Finally, Humble Bundle is also offering a $50 physical reward tier that includes all 32 of the PDF products from the lower tiers, plus a physical copy of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Beginner Box delivered right to your door. Fulfillment is handled by Paizo, but you are responsible for shipping fees. So they anticipate that domestic shipping is going to run anywhere from $11 to $17, and that international shipping could end up being in the $30 to $45 range. These savings do run through December 31st. So yes, once again, we've got another Pathfinder Humble Bundle that you can jump aboard. The lowest tier is $5 this time around. Usually it's $1, which normally will get you the beginner box. But for the $5 tier, you're going to get the beginner box, some character sheets and player's guides and things like that. So all in all, this is a pretty sweet deal. Even if you don't need to get the physical beginner box, $30 scores you 32 PDFs. That's pretty sweet. Omanal points out Pathfinder does a lot of bundles, making it very easy to get into. There is usually a Pathfinder bundle every 3 months or so, at least. It's not always on Humble Bundle. I think every once in a while they'll do Bundle of Holding, but normally it is humble bundle that does carry the Pathfinder books. All right, moving right along. Now available from Autarch is the Ascendant role-playing game. Here's what I know. Ascendant is the super-powered role-playing game of infinite possibilities. In this 496-page standalone rulebook, you get elegant game mechanics that swiftly simulate the physics of a comic book world using easy-to-reference real-life benchmarks. Color-coded challenge action resolution tables that resolve complex actions with super speed. Infinitely scalable system that lets you play heroes of any power level, from street fighters to living gods, and replicate virtually any character from your favorite anime, comic, manga, or movie settings. Countless powers, all customizable with an easy-to-use system of modifier tags that lets you match your powers specifics to your character concept. Comprehensive detective mechanics for investigating crimes, interviewing witnesses, and finding clues. Detailed options for super geniuses to create inventions, cure diseases, and even bring their outlandish devices into mass production. Extensive rules for responding to emergencies such as asteroid strikes, avalanches, disease outbreaks, earthquakes, fires, nuclear disasters, tornadoes, tsunamis, and volcanoes. There's a huge catalog of pre-built characters and objects, including major military vehicles, such as aircraft carriers, attack submarines, and ballistic missiles. A dynamic mission generation system to help you create challenges for your heroes. There's also an optional campaign setting with ready-to-use heroes, villains, and organizations. It includes spectacular artwork, Art Week. Jeez, I need a sip here. It's like Art Week. My goodness, that Art Week is beautiful. It includes spectacular artwork by industry-leading pencilers, inkers, and colorists. You're just a tracer, man. Who will you become when you ascend? Don your cape and mask and find out in Ascendant. The 496-page core book is available as a soft cover, including the PDF, over at Drive-Thru RPG for $55, or you can grab the PDF alone for $20. So if Autarch rings a bell, they also happen to be the company that produces Adventure Conqueror King, which we've got a slew of stuff that we're going to be looking at in January during the Old School for the New Year celebration. So I did want to bring this to you as well. Almost 500-page PDF, $20 over at Drive-Thru RPG. That is a crazy good deal. Russell Higgins is with us in chat. Doug Roberts has joined us as well. I think I've said hello to everyone so far. So Omenal says, just another Monday disaster. Asteroid on Tuesdays, evil mastermind plot, or destroy the world on Thursday, etc. Russell says that they forgot to sign autographs at the local con on weekends. All righty, let's go move on to our final news piece tonight, because now available from Chaosium Inc. is RuneQuest, weapons and equipment. Here's the deets. Wondrous items and essential goods for adventurers in the world of RuneQuest. RuneQuest weapons and equipment is an essential guide to a wide range of items, goods, services, training, magical items, and beasts for both players and game masters. Expand your armory. A plethora of new adventuring equipment, as well as new close combat weapons, melee weapons, and armor. Every type of hammer, spear, sword, and more is detailed. Diversify your adventuring party with no character wielding the same statistics and rules. New and compiled rules for beasts of burden, mounts, and awakened animals. Prices and rules for war beasts, exotic animals, and pack animals accompany stats for riding equipment and even mobile dwellings. There are new rules for land ownership, which allow your adventurers to expand their foothold in Glorantha. The book contains rules for the quality of land, prices of different dwellings, unique land features, fortifications, as well as developing and improving your land over time. The 128-page PDF is available right now at DriveThruRPG for $17.99. Russell Higgins asks, how many in a plethora? I believe it is more than a slew. I believe. I might be wrong. Russell says more than 2, less than 100. All right, that is it for the news tonight. My last 2 news items I did mention. DriveThruRPG. Please keep in mind that the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you're going to go visit, say, DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. All those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like this video, if you like the channel, if you like thegaminggang.com, if you like what I do, by all means, you can feel free to buy me a cup of coffee or some soda by going to paypal.me/thegaminggang. And thankfully, there are quite a lot of people who do use our drive-through or One Bookshelf banner ads, as well as the paypal.me to help out. Thank you very much. Before we jump on into that first look at the G.I. Joe deck building game, did want to mention that yesterday I kicked off the big 50/50 holiday auction over at thegaminggang.com. Essentially, it is almost 150 entries. It's not 150 games because some of them are the actual like core game and expansion as one item. Some of them are role-playing games where it's all the books for the role-playing game. So as an example, I have a collection of The Dark Eye. So it's the core book and a bunch of other books as well. Those are all just one entry. So there are almost 150 entries in the auction, half of which, whatever is raised, is going to go to Extra Life and benefit the Anne and Robert H. Laurie Children's Hospital of Chicago. So there is that. So definitely check that out. That's going to run until Saturday afternoon. And I will start shipping stuff out the following week. Got to point out, there's no way you're going to get these things by Christmas, but you'll know it's on the horizon. And of course, if you are the high bidder on multiple items, I can easily combine shipping as well. Definitely check it out. We do have a few people who have made bids already. I need to go in there and update some stuff because I think there are a couple of bids that came in, and I this isn't eBay, right? I'm not eBay. I have things like getting this show ready for me to take care of. I'm not going to sit there like every 2 minutes, like refreshing there's a bid. I got to go in there and change that. Madman says they've been adding more to their drive-through wish list. They're anticipating clicking that link from the banner ads in a couple of weeks to empty that out. Very cool. Thank you very much. Always appreciated. So should mention, you may notice, even though it's not in focus, that's intentional. The background behind me is a little bit different. I was changing some stuff around. Some people had told me that the little flashing Christmas lights were very distracting, so I got rid of those. I still have to hang up a couple of stockings behind me, but they keep falling down. And I don't want to use tape or something that's going to be leaving any sort of residue on like bookshelves behind me. So, don't know. So Doug Roberts says that they have ordered some games they don't think are going to arrive until sometime next year. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I had noticed just like Paizo with their Pathfinder and Starfinder releases, their schedule's just a mess. It is just a mess. And it's not their fault. It's just, yeah, it's the shipping deal. It's the production and shipping problems. So there's stuff that was supposed to have been out like this month or next month. Now it's kind of fallen back to February on some things and stuff like that. So Omenal says the Dungeon Master's Guide is gone. That is correct. It is. It's still here. It hasn't gone anywhere. It is still here, but it has been replaced with the RuneQuest starter set, which I will have a review of probably this week because I just finished reading it, and I have not played the solo adventure yet. That's the one thing that I am still waiting to do. I will give you a clue, though. Man, it's good. I hate to say this, but I think it's better than the Call of Cthulhu starter set, and I think the Call of Cthulhu starter set is excellent. So yes, so it's a little different behind me. So we've also got some Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. We've got a little Pathfinder back there, so kind of changing things around. Sarah D has come in to say hello. Good to see Sarah D. I'm sure that means Mr. Eddie T can't be far behind as well. All right, something else I want to point out. I received something. I've received a few different things, but I received something. I have never encountered something like this before. So it was somebody who really wants to see reviews of the original adventures reincarnated from Goodman Games. So they are sending me all of them. And it's not somebody who has anything to do with Goodman Games. I already received Into the Borderlands. Holy jamoli, right? That is a big book. But I have been informed that all 6, yes, I'm even getting the Temple of Elemental Evil original adventure reincarnated, which is like a 2-volume slipcase set. This person wants to send them along, and they do not want me to reveal who they are. I was like, okay. So, very cool. So, more stuff for us to take a peek at during the Old School for the New Year celebration all throughout January 2022. Omenal says, yeah, appreciate whomever did that. I know, it's wild. Andy Sykes has joined us in chat as well. Good to see you, Andy. All right, moving right along. Tonight, I am going to unbox and take a first look at the G.I. Joe deck building game from Renegade Game Studios, designed by T.C. Petty III, with artwork provided by Robert Atkins. Games for 1 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, plays in around 30 to 70 minutes, does carry an MSRP of $45. Russell Higgins points out that those original adventures reincarnated are excellent books. They really do look pretty sweet. They look pretty wild. Sad to say, I don't think they're available in PDF. I think you have to buy the physical books. All right, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got the G.I. Joe deck building game, which, interestingly enough, when I was at Gen Con, my best friend Elliot Miller asked me to pick up the Transformers deck building game for him, which I just got to see him last weekend to give him that. So I thought it was kind of interesting that Renegade Game Studios had sent along the G.I. Joe deck building game, which I got to be honest, I had much more interest in than the Transformers because I got to be honest, as I pointed out earlier as the show began, I didn't watch the cartoons. I didn't watch Transformers. I didn't watch G.I. Joe. Once again, I was a little too old for those when they first came out. Answer the call. Fall in. The evil organization Cobra threatens the world with their schemes, and it's up to you to stop them. In this deck building game, you and your fellow players will lead teams of G.I. Joe soldiers. Aren't they called Joes? I guess what I thought they're called Joes. On missions to stop Cobra's dastardly plans. Each player starts the game with a meager deck that will grow more powerful as you recruit veterans from the G.I. Joe team, requisition gear, and field new vehicles. This fully cooperative game pits you against the increasingly dangerous missions to save the world. This core set begins your journey with everything needed to play, but be prepared for more Joes and missions to come. Russell Higgins says their G.I. Joe had a beard, a scar, and a kung fu grip. We had those same kind of G.I. Joes. We had what were they, like 8-inch tall? Maybe they were 12-inch tall. So Omanelsa asked, do they come with the large 12-inch figures? See, those were G.I. Joes. To us, my brother and I, that was G.I. Joe. Those are the G.I. Joes we had. And we had the G.I. Joes in the dress, Marine uniform and stuff like that. All right, so let's open this on up. So we get a little card here. Oh, talking about the G.I. Joe role-playing game that's coming as well. I'm kind of curious if Renegade Game Studios has entered into any kind of partnership with like IDW Publishing, who does the G.I. Joe comics. So I'm kind of curious, or if this is just essentially just the toy line. Flaming Huron has made it to chat as well. All right, so here we've got the rule book. It says Cobra, the enemy, has set in motion its plans for total world domination, and G.I. Joe is the only team that can stop them. Assemble your elite squad of fighting Joes and work together to take down this global menace once and for all. Yo, Joe! So it is Yo Joe. It wasn't Yo Joe's. See, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I didn't watch the cartoons, but I do know the song. You know, G.I. Joe. It's like a real American hero. All right, so we have story packs. I would assume if this does well, we'll see some additional expansions. It's kind of like spelled out right on the back of the box. So we've got player cards, Cobra cards, complication cards, mission cards. So from my understanding, if I remember right from what I had read when I shared a news piece about this, the players work together to assemble their teams to defeat these missions. So you're not playing against the other players. You're playing against Cobra, which is essentially an AI that's run by their own cards. So we've got the goal. Your team wins if you defeat the final story mission. Your team loses if the threat marker reaches the top space of the threat meter. Cobra battalions cover 5 cards in the lineup, and you must add a 6th, or if the main deck runs out. So we have a basic setup, choosing your story. So we have 2 story missions. The mass device and Operation Total Control. It says for the first game, they recommend mass device. Telling us how to play, player turn sequence. The action phase, different card types. Get an example mission run through. The reason why I was curious if some of the artwork is from IDW is because they've been publishing the G.I. Joe comics for a long time. I think the regular G.I. Joe series is like issue 280 or something like that. So we got some card clarifications. Annie Sykes says in the UK, G.I. Joe was called Action Man, and it was too expensive when they were a kid. So we have some solo rules, so you can play alone. We've got some achievements as well, and a little player aid for the player turn sequence. We've got a punch board of counters. So I see, whoa, we've got a hanger. It says transports are placed here when recruited or played from your hand. We've got a reserve. This must be the threat. I'm taking a guess that's the threat meter here. Got some tokens there as well. And dual-sided. And we've got a nice insert. We've got some 6-sided dice. All right, come on, plastic bag. Jeez. So these are custom dice. So it looks like we've got kind of the almost like army star here. So we have singles. These are probably zeros, misses, or something like that. And then we've got doubles. So it looks like we've got 2 faces that have the star, 1 with the double, and 3 with the 0. So I'm taking a guess it's kind of a miss or something like that. Got a few decks of cards as well. So we have larger tarot size cards, and then we have smaller standard size cards. So these look like these are missions. Pretty decent card stock. So I think we've got 1 and 3. So I'm not sure if those are difficulty levels. Because these all say mission 1 with the different backings. So we have mission 1, and then we have 1, 2, and 3. We'll take a look at a few of these. So uncover the double agent. Cobra has sent the double agent right into the Joe's HQ. Will the Joes be able to find this agent of chaos? Give you a better look at this as well. Secure the rare liquid elements. They're kind of cool cards. Under the Sea. I do not think the Little Mermaid is part of this. Under the Sea. Nice. So we've got a bunch of these. Looks like probably, I don't think there's 52 of them. Looks like maybe there's 40 of them. Okay, so we've got that. We've got 3 different decks, or at least 3 different packages of cards. Okay, so these are Cobra cards there, complication cards. So I want to say these are the player cards. So we're going to have, once again, this is a deck building game. So we're going to start off with a pretty weak deck of cards. Omanal's asking, are those tarot or playing card size? These are tarot. So these are tarot card size. These are regular playing card size. Do want to mention the corners are rounded on both styles there. So we got more of the player cards there. Looks like we might have some reference cards. Yep. Talking about the missions. Got our turn sequence. And then talking about the missions as well. Now with expert mode. So I guess these are maybe more difficult. So it says when a story mission enters play +1, maybe that's Cobra point to that track, maybe. So it looks like these are like special options that are probably in play that might change up from game to game. So we've got Cobra Commander, Destro, Baroness, Dr. Mindbender, Zartan, Major Blood, Storm Shadow, Cobra Battalion. A few of those. Yeah. All right. So these are the Obey Cobra, and then we've got this expert mode as well. See the complications. Major Blood appears. Put Major Blood into play. Don't tell me the odds. Moray Sea Assault. Storm Shadow appears. So Doug says some nice artwork. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty cool artwork. I really do think I'll have to dig into the rule book. I really do think that some of this artwork is actually from IDW Comics. Publishing, I should say. IDW Publishing G.I. Joe Comics. I'm not going to look at all the cards in the Joe deck, but give you an idea. So here's a starter. Starter Joe. We've got those. Quite a few of those. All right, here we go. Service Rifle. Scarlet. Snake Eyes. Duke. Lady J. Roadblock. Flint. Barbecue. Doesn't have any text. Okay. Shipwreck and Polly. Muskrat. Ace. So are we going to see Sergeant Slaughter? Someone else says IDW just lost G.I. Joe, didn't they? Not that I'm familiar with. I think they're still publishing it. Mainframe, Clutch, Ripcord, Jinx. So we got a lot of different Joes. See what else we've got down in here. We got Expert Training, Proximity Mine, Rocket Launcher. So we've got different gear for the Joes. Scuba gear. So we've got some leaders, promoted leaders. Oh, okay. So the Joes can kind of like level up. We've got Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Duke, Lady J, Roadblock, and Flint. Cobra Troopers. That's why I was double checking. I'm like, oh, that's in the Joe deck? Yep. So we've got Diffuse, Second Effort. These are starter cards there. There's starter Joes again. This looks kind of interesting. I even without really having any affiliation with G.I. Joe outside of being a small kid playing with the foot high big G.I. Joes. This looks kind of interesting. I'm digging this. All right, so we've got all the different cards. And then, of course, we got a nice insert as well here. So we've got all of these. We also have the mission cards. So I'm going to slip these back into here. This will be interesting to check out. Thankfully, it looks like we're going to get to do more gaming than we have in the past. In fact, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, had an opportunity to get together and we played some games for about 4 hours. And my best friend Elliot actually got to come by, and we had a good time. All right, so we've got the punch board with the hanger and some informational tokens. And here we go. See, that's I think this is where we track like the chaos track for Cobra, and if it reaches the top, I think we lose. Then we got the rule book. That's what we find when we take everything from the G.I. Joe deck building game outside the box. All right, once again, this is for 1 to 4 players, ages 13 and up. Plays in 30 to 70 minutes. Does carry an MSRP of $45. And it's designed by T.C. Petty the Third. All right, let's swing on over to the other camera and wrap up. That was a pretty fast show. Pretty quick show tonight. Tomorrow night's show, we're going to take a look at Elector Counts. It is from Cubicle 7 Entertainment. This is a Warhammer fantasy role-play card game. So we're going to take a peek at that. Then on Wednesday's show, I am not positive yet, but I do believe we are going to take a look at something role-playing related. Got a couple of options. There's something that's on its way, but I'm not sure if it's going to arrive in time. So I don't want to say, oh, we're going to look at this. Because then if it doesn't show up, then I'll be like, oh, yeah, duh. All right. Let's see. So there was some discussion about, was Darth Vader the Green Cross man? So that would have been David Prowse, right? Isn't that the actor who played? I know the last name's Prowse. I thought his first name's David. Saying, yeah, he was the Green Cross code man, a public safety figure to teach kids road safety in the UK. That's pretty wild. That's pretty interesting. Nice. Okay, so if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as tonight's review of Rackham Vale from Crowbar Creative. It took me, I zoned out for a second because I saw a chat pop up and it said, yeah, David Prowse, yep. I was like, what? It is from Crowbar Creative. So stay tuned. The review will be live probably in about 30 minutes or so. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Everybody who watched live, thank you very much. Always appreciate that. You took part in chat. That is much appreciated as well. Otherwise, I'd just be blabbing away into a camera and be like, I don't know. Is anybody out there? Is this thing on? Hello? Hey, should point out we passed 5,700 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Thank you for that as well. Anyway, I know a lot of people out there don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter how you watch any of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel. Hell, maybe you're watching on Memorex. Doesn't matter to me. All I have to say is thank you very much for spending time hanging out at the channel. I'll be back tomorrow. Once again, we're going to take a look at Elector Counts from Cubicle 7 Entertainment. Also, happy holidays, everybody. Getting closer to Christmas. Although it's pretty warm here in the Chicago area. I mean, it's still cool, but I mean, it's cold, but it's not December cold. So hopefully it feels like the holidays where you're at, regardless of what the weather's like. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. And here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. See you tomorrow. Oh, you're still here. Well, while you're kicking it, how about subscribing to the Gaming Gang channel? Or seeing the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch? Or finding out what YouTube recommends you check out here at my channel? And of course, don't forget, get your geek on at thegaminggang.com.